Jai Baba. I am Adi Baba's brother's son, Dara, and this is my wife, Amrit.
Jai Baba.
My first recollections of meeting with Baba were when I was fairly young. Where I remember that one day Baba was holding a darshan, and there was a great gathering of people there, and I remember that I was fairly close, sitting fairly close to where Baba was, and he happened to notice me, and out of turn he called me up and he touched my face, and he made me embrace him and kiss him. And there are other small instances as well, but it wasn't until I came to England really that I became much closer to Baba. Especially when I went back to India in 1964-65 for the first time. This was for my sister Shireen's Navjot. Well, at that period of time, I grew very much closer to Baba. We had a lot of talks together where I would sit in the hall with the other Mandali, the men folks, and Baba would ask me questions, and he would ask me how I felt, and he always kept asking me, I'll never forget this, that do I love him? And I say it was very moving, and I felt really bewildered sitting there. I remember Baba used to also ask me that I had a habit of looking down at the floor, and he asked me, he said, why aren't you looking at me? And I said to Baba, I said, I feel so bewildered sitting here in front of you that I just don't seem to be able to look up to you. And Baba smiled. And I also recall very clearly that I was sitting on the floor without a cushion or anything, and I was getting a bit uncomfortable. And Baba said to me, he said, would you like to sit on a chair? And I said, no, Baba. I said, it didn't matter if I suffered a little sitting here in front of you. And I recall that pleased him very much as well. And then we, later on in my life, up till 68-69, when I returned to India again for my marriage, which was arranged by Baba, I always had good wish telegrams from Baba on my birthday and other correspondence. Well, regards my wedding, which I'll come to later, which was arranged by Baba, as I said, well, this was something really tremendous. I don't yet know how I felt, or I do feel, about this being done by beloved Baba. Now my wife will tell her meetings with Baba.
Jai Baba. I knew Baba from my childhood, and Stop. Jai Baba. I knew Baba from my childhood, and I seen him I don't remember when I first seen, but which I remember, I think I seen him when I was 7-year-old, and Baba came to visit us, and we had quite a lot of people came to our house, and we had Baba's prayers, and we gave people's meal, and then I sit in front of Baba, and Baba says, do you know who I am? I said, yes, Baba, you are God. Baba said, how do you know I'm God? I said, Baba, I don't know, I'm just feeling you're God, and like everybody said, you're God, because I was so young that time. So later on, Baba said, oh, I know you're my own daughter, and sometimes later, Baba, nearly 2 or 3 years later, Baba again came to Dehradun, and he came again in our house, and he asked me, my father, how I am. And my father was always surprised why he asked me only about me. Not, I have older sisters and young brother. He never asked too much about them, but he always asked about me. And my father was he always asked, what's the reason why you always ask about you? So I don't know. So now, after we always come to Pune and to see in dressing time, and sometimes he calls us in Bombay, or when he was in Bombay, and Meherajad. And then now, after quite a long time later, 1968, everybody knew why Baba was always asked about me, and what was the reason. So then everybody knew why Baba was doing everything. And then he asked me married to his brother's son Dara, and I was very glad. I said, oh, what I want. And I was very happy to know it. And then we came Meherajad, and I met Dara in my engagement day.
Now, regards my marriage, which was arranged by beloved Baba, I must go back to 1964-65 when I returned to India with my family. It was then that I felt that I should be getting married, and I would have liked to have married an Indian girl. And this was said in front of Baba. Beloved Baba, very kindly, to say the least, said that he'd arrange everything and told me not to worry. Yet, foolishly, when I returned to England some years later, I kept asking myself and my father, has Baba forgotten this arrangement?